Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Today we're going to restore an original Hot Wheels classic, the Cockney cab. Now this car here, finding one in decent shape is a little bit tough, because the year that these were produced, there was something wrong with the metal mixture in the cars, and these cars were given the nickname the Crumblers. And that's because the metal would just, I don't know, rot or just fall apart or whatever. And like I said, finding one in good shape is a little bit tough. But I did find one, and we're going to take it down and strip it and see what we can do with it and bring it back to its original beautiful Hot Wheels glory. Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's just go ahead and get started. I've already drilled out the post. Now the post, there's only one. The other is a tab that holds things together in the back. Now, as you can see here, the back wheels have come apart from the suspension block. They're bent up pretty nasty, but we'll do our best to fix them up. The wheels will definitely have to be replaced, and the base will have to be polished up. But there's the little space for that tab. There's your tab from the back. This has kind of got like an apple green or a lime green to it, but I think we're going to try and paint it up in dark green or like a British UK green. Here's the interior with the passenger bags there on the side. Got a crack in the back glass, but finding glass for these things is virtually impossible, so we're just going to have to deal with it. The engine needs to be polished up some, so we'll do that, and that'll be good. You have to slide in the engine from the underside, put the lights in, and then fit it up through the hole. And it just gets held in place by the post that's on the car. Let's continue. Let's take the body and put it in some citrus strip. Now, since we're doing a color change, we want to make sure that we're getting the inside and the outside of the car. I try and put the screw back in the post because I don't like to get citrus strip inside the post hole that I drilled out. I found out one time that as I put the screw back in on a car that was completely painted, there was some citrus strip residue or paint remover residue in there, and it slowly leached out and started separating the paint on the post and everything, and something that I came across that I wanted to share with you. Here I'm taking a wire brush, and we're going to remove away some of the rough texture and some of the spots that are on there, or the toning. Sorry for the camera angle there. Just go over everything you possibly can. Clean it all up. Just be careful you don't overdo it, because you don't want to leave a rough texture on the car. Polish it up as best you can and get it ready for the paint. Let's go ahead and move on.
Meanwhile, back in the graveyard.
Here we've got the body all cleaned up. We're going to blow the dust off of it. Scrubbed it down with some Zep degreaser. Now we're going to spray all the hard to reach areas, like up inside the fender wells, inside the body itself, etc. Here I'm using Spectre Flame Green from the Redline shop. If you're looking for any of these wonderful paints and products from the Redline shop, go to www.redlineshop.com. We're going to do our best here to get all inside the car, and now we're going to do a light tack coat on the outside. This green is a really beautiful color. Now, something that people have asked is they have a certain amount of colors. You can take these Spectre Flame colors and mix up your own combinations. Now, if you want to take some blue and add a couple drops of yellow or a couple drops of red, you can mix these things up and make your own colors. Just remember how many drops of what you put in there if you got to mix it again. But that's a lot of fun to experiment with. Take these paints, mix them up, come up with different things, and you'll have a lot of fun doing it, I promise. So if you happen to run out, as long as you got some of your primary colors like your red, your yellow, your blue, etc., you can make any color. There's your tip today from your Uncle Paulie. Looking good. Now we're going to spray down a little bit heavier coats on here. We let the tack coat set up for about 10 minutes. And we're going to let this paint build up a little bit here. Now you want it to have a wet look, but you don't want it to run. There's a fine line there between getting that nice high shine on there and getting it to where your paint is going to run off the car. And that's definitely where you don't want to go. Just keep moving the car, keep rotating it, and make sure that when you're spraying, that you're spraying over an entire area. And what I mean by that is if you're painting the car on the left side, make sure you cover the entire car from left to right. If you're painting in the back, make sure you're covering the whole back and start before the car, paint over the car, and finish after the car. That way there, you'll ensure yourself of getting a nice, complete finish on the car as you're painting. Don't just dibble and dabble with the paintbrush. This is starting to look really sweet. I think we got enough there. That's looking really good. Let's move on. Now we're going to put on the decals. I happen to get these decals from Second Chance Redlines. Vince up there puts out a really nice product. Now my go-to guy is Kenny Terry at kennyterry.com. He usually makes these things for me. I happen to have gotten this car before I met Kenny, so I had these decals already ordered, or I would have had Kenny make them for me. But Vince does a fantastic job there at Second Chance Redlines, and he puts out a quality product also. If you want something custom, talk to Kenny Terry. If you need something made up, call Kenny Terry. He'll take care of you. I put down a layer of microset down on the car because of the trunk lines, etc. This will help the decal conform to the curves of your car. It'll fit in the little gaps and everything. Just make sure that you let it set for a while and dry. Now here's the base. I've already cleaned up the base and I've already glued the axle back in place with some super glue. But we need to replace the tires. Now normally I would use silver tires, but the Redline shop has come up with these new gold tires and I just couldn't wait to use these things. Now I have the ability to change these things out anytime I want to, but I wanted to give these gold tires a try. I put out a little poll to a few friends of mine to see what they thought, and the overall winner was try the gold tires. They look really cool. So that's what we're going to do today. And not to offend the purist. I mean, you know, when you restore a car, you need to restore it the way it was when it came from the factory. But this way here, it's giving you another avenue to investigate here, or another avenue to go down to make your customs look that much better. So check out the Redline shop. John, I believe, has just put these gold wheels on the website, so please check them out. These things are absolutely beautiful, and they give you another option. Look at that. That is really sweet. I'm very happy with these. But again, if you don't care for them, you can switch them out with the silver ones with no issues. The body looks good with the decal in place. We've gone ahead and clear coated that. The interior has been scrubbed down. We did the best we could to polish the windshield because we couldn't get a replacement, and we polished up the engine. Let's go ahead and do our reveal. And this is what we started with. An old Hot Wheels Cockney cab in desperate need of a restoration. The wheels all needed to be replaced. The wheels in the rear needed to be repaired because they were just literally sitting in there. We polished up the glass as best we could. There is a crack in there, but we couldn't find replacement glass, unfortunately. I will keep on looking. We stripped down the body. We cleaned that up. We polished it up. We polished up the engine. And again, we replaced the wheels with those brand new gold wheels from the Redline shop. Please check those out at the Redline shop, and you'll be able to get some of those for your cars. Now, I forgot to ask John if they come in the bearing kind or the bearing style, but they definitely come in the cap style. Wow, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this one. And here's what we got to. Look at this beautiful English taxi cab. It's fantastic. The decal in the back from Second Chance Redlines, the gold wheels from the Redline shop, the beautiful British green Spectre Flame paint. It just turned out fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful. I love how this turned out. This is going to be a fantastic addition to the collection. Now, if you guys see any of the cars I make and you would like to have one or have that one for your collection, just contact me. My email address is in the About section on every video. You'll see it there. It's diecastgraveyard@gmail.com. Contact me if you would like to own one of these cars or a car just like it. And I'm sure we can work something out if you desperately or definitely would like something like that. Now, I want to thank my Patreon members. These people help keep my web page going, and I can't do my website without them because they provide a small subscription fee to me, and all these fees go to helping me with my supplies, getting me my paints, getting me my repair parts, anything else that I use, sandpaper, steel wool, paint thinner, paint stripper, all that stuff. But I want to thank Mr. William K7 Robinson up there in the Grim Reaper level, and Dale Johnson. Bless you gentlemen so much. Jake Rademacher, Sam Pascal, I'm glad you're feeling better, brother. Air Warrior Coffee, Ed Ostrander, and Adam Bowen. You guys absolutely rock. My Gravedigger members, the newer members, Andrew Hitchens, Leroy up there, thank you, brother. Grizz Flowers, Jonathan Hicks and his son, Stacy Wright, thank you, brother. Down there in the Hearst Driver section, Jim Silva, check him out, and some of the other guys too. This is Paul from Diecast Graveyard. What a fantastic build on this Cockney cab. We got a bunch more things coming out here in the near future, so please stand by. And at the end of this month, end of month of May, the Sweet 16 giveaway. Cheers.